Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post game show for the Raiders versus 49ers game. Um, if you saw our show earlier, um, I'm Jaymie. I'm here to bring you anything that you missed during this final preseason game of the preseason. And yeah, um, well, the end was kind of crazy. It was a little bit wild. Um, the end kind of we'll get to it a little bit, but like that end was kind of crazy. Um for starters, first thing, I do have NFL pulled up over here. As soon as they give me the stats, I'll go over some of the stats. If anything, I know it's kind of hard with the preseason, so I'm just kind of waiting. Well, anyway, the final score was 24-24. It was a tie. Um, because the Raiders ended up getting the ball back at the very, very end, and they scored to tie up the game, and then we tried to go back down. So yeah, it was a little wild of an ending there. Bebop Jones, go Niners! Whoa, whoa! Thank you guys for tuning in. Um, so first thing first, Purdy played pretty much the whole. I want to say like most of the first quarter and into the second quarter a little bit, I believe. Um, so there is that. He did play that, and he actually had a couple good throws. He made a really nice throw on his opening, like the very first play. He threw a really nice medium, like pretty not super deep pass, but like a good distance pass to Debo on the sidelines, like a little bit of an out route, like it was like kind of like a corner ish to the outside. So he got that one. He had a really nice throw to Kittle, where he put it right where only Kittle could get it over the linebacker's head and before the corner. So he had that. So Kittle and Debo both had those good catches. Cowing had a couple of really good plays in like the third, fourth quarter where he had a couple of really good slants. He had a slant for a touchdown. All four quarterbacks got to play. Purdy played. Um, oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Um, Brian played. Um, Dobbs played, and then Tyler played. So they all played a little bit. Tyler played most of the end of the fourth quarter. Dobbs played most of the third into the fourth, and then Brian Allen and Purdy took the second, like split up the first half. Um, so we had that. It was good to see. Um, uh, Jordan Mason had some really, really good runs of the first half of the game. He looked really sharp. Um, Second team looked good. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Um, we got a lot of like our second string looked really solid. Honestly. The first half played really well. We were going down the field. Purdy looked really composed, really confident. He did almost like he threw a ball to Debo. It the way it was, it bounced off Debo's hand, got intercepted, but he ran to tackle the guy like uh on into out of bounds, and so that was kind of crazy. He pretty much was done after that. Because I don't think Kyle wanted him to come to get hurt. We did have injuries to two defensive linemen. Let me pull up their names because I remember. See if I can find anything. Give me 1 second, guys. They were both very like defensive linemen. Give me 1 second. 1 second. It was not good. It kind of happened both at one time. Let's see. Oh, and also, if you're wondering why I didn't go into overtime, yeah, the ending, 49er media, the ending was insane. That whole, if I can, I want to find like, somebody's got to clip that because that was an insane ending. We were going through a Hail Mary. It bounced. It was almost intercepted. Then the Raiders player fumbled. We got the ball. They were running. They tried to do like the lateral pass. They fumbled. Another Niner picked it up. Then they fumbled. Yeah, I think it was Floyd. Yeah, Floyd was hurt. I'm trying to find. Yeah, Leonard Floyd knee and Yotur Gross Matos both knee are both out for the remainder of the game. They were hurt pretty much in like the first half of the game. For Floyd, it looked like in the version in the in the viewing that I was watching, they said it could have been a hyperextension. So we'll see. They haven't really given us too much. I know Floyd went back out to get looked at. But I think they both ended up back on the sidelines, which I think is a good thing. So they both ended up banged up. Those are the only two serious injuries. Isaac Garendo, our running back, had almost like a 90, I think it was like 92 and 93 yard kick return. He did a really nice couple cuts up with the new kickoff rules, and he almost made it all the way to the house. He was very close. After the Raiders had a similar one. Yeah, but it was wild. Like that last ending was very much a summer ending, and it was very, very crazy and anything. Also, this is the first time I'm putting in the live for Instagram. Normally I'm not. I just learned how to do this. So if you won't have any comments or anything that you want to put up, I do have it pulled up over here. I don't know if I'm going to get it on this comments, but I will be checking the Instagram periodically as well if you're watching on Instagram. Thanks. Yeah. The ending was the end of summer. LOL. Yeah, it was very wild. But yeah, apparently the NFL did go away with overtime in the preseason, which I think is good. Because I had to keep pushing back the time for the show. So that's why it was. I know I started at 9:45. Pushed it back because the game has kept going. But yeah, overall, I think it went overall really good. I think Purdy looked good. A lot of our first and second string looked really solid. Our tight end, I think his name is Lute. I think is how you say it. He had some really solid catches. There's just a lot going on. I think Jordan Mason had a really, really good game. Okay. Kyle Shanahan is doing a presser right now. Said that the initial diagnosis for both Leonard Floyd and Gross Matos are knee sprains. They will have MRIs tomorrow. So we'll get more updates tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, it lasted like if you go into it right now, you can find that. That was wild. But yeah, it was very, 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 very interesting season. I think it's gonna be a long season. We got this. We sure do. We sure do. But overall, I think it was a really solid. It's very much still a preseason game. That second half was tough. I think Dobbs is always very fun to watch. I always like when he's playing. He's very fun. I think both Purdy and Dobbs have really good sidearm throws. They both Purdy had one in the first half that was really solid, and then Dobbs had a couple too, as well. But yeah, I think it was overall a very good showing. Our offensive line at the beginning was doing really well. Defensive line at the beginning looked very solid as well. Nick Bosa did not play this game, so he didn't do anything. But some of our other guys played really well also. So hopefully these sprains from our D linemen aren't too bad and that they'll be back soon. Let's see. They're still not showing. I had them pulled up, but they're not showing the stats. I wanted to read some of the stats. Okay. Anyhow, But yeah, I think that Robbie Gould, the wide receiver position is going to be very tough. I think they were talking about it on the stream that I was watching, and they said they had Conley, Trent Taylor, Robbie Gould, Cowing, who else? Couple, Danny Gray. One other person that I can't think of right now off the top of my head. It's going to be tough because I really think Debo, if Ayuk stays, Ayuk, then I think Ricky Pearsall. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. The wide receiver is gonna be interesting to see who they decide to do. I think I have always liked Trent Taylor. I think he's a really cool guy, and it's gonna be tough. I do think that him being able to do punt returns is huge, but we'll have to see. Tay Martin is cut, I believe. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Conley had some really solid catches this game, so I think he will make it. I don't think Danny Gray or Tay Martin are gonna make it. Robbie Gould, I don't think is gonna make it. He has some flashes, but he's just not consistent enough. I don't think. Maybe we'll stash him on the practice squad, but I don't know. We'll find out on Tuesday because I believe the cut down is on Tuesday. So that's gonna be tough. But I mean, overall, I think it was very happy with how the first and second string played. I think the third string and the second half was a very more chaotic, fun time to play. They were cool to play and everything like that. So let's see if we have any comments. The comments is nuts. So yeah, it was a fun game though. I think it was. I still can't believe they tied. The Niners had the lead for a while. The Raiders came back a little bit, and then it was kind of looking back and forth. Yeah, Dobbs was, I think, the only quarterback who actually threw a touchdown. The rest of them, I think, were run plays. So, because Purdy didn't throw any, he just had there's a lot of running. But no, seriously though, that first quarter, Jordan Mason looked phenomenal. You could not get him down. He's just running for first downs. It was kind of crazy. And then Isaac Guerrero, the rookie that we traded up for, I believe in the second or third round, he had some really good flashes. He's gonna be interesting because he had really good return. Like he's returning punts and stuff. It was just interesting, and he had some decent runs too a couple of times, but he also got stuffed a few times too. So I think he's very interesting. I think he had a pretty solid game. Nothing super crazy, but he was solid. Sam Womack, I don't think he basically let a touchdown in because he was covering the guy, but he just did not make a play on the ball, and the wide receiver for the Raiders caught it. I forgot who it was. And yeah, it was kind of nasty. Let's see, Bebop has some comments. If our line holds up, our backs can break loose, all of them. Exactly. And this was without Christian McCaffrey, guys. Like, we'll actually probably have really good depth at running back because, like, if it's McCaffrey, Mason, and one other one, regardless who it is, if it's Guerrero, if it's Breida is still there, but he had a couple of runs. He didn't get the ball that much, so he didn't really get a chance to really get going. But he overall had a couple, but he was also getting kind of stuff. But he also played behind backup linemen, so we don't know for sure. But yeah, and this is also about Trent Williams on that left side. If we get Trent Williams and Aaron Banks back, we could have a pretty solid O-line too, guys. So we'll have to hope and see. Yeah, other than that, just anything else specifically? I mean, there's a lot of preseason. It's going to be tough. Regardless. Yeah, I think the wide receiver is going to be interesting because you can kind of, I know most people don't think Trent Taylor is going to make the squad. I'm leaning that way too. I think his only saving grace is that he can return kicks and punts. So, like, if they wanted to have him there for special teams, they could. I think, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know if they can stash him uh on the practice squad. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But yeah, it was it was a fun, interesting game. But Purdy looked more composed this game than he did last week against the Saints, because I think he had a more solid O line. He was getting a little bit more time. He made those couple of plays that I think were really solid. And overall, I think he did a really good job. I think all of them did a really good job. And, also a thing to know, all preseason Kyle has not been calling plays. I'm assuming that's going to change in the regular season, that Kyle will go back to calling plays. So we'll have to see on that as well. Yeah, I think that was pretty interesting. Let's see. No comments over there. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. That's cool for Quebec. I think it is cool. I don't know how I feel about it, because I do think that one of Kyle's strength is his ability as a play caller and everything like that, and his more control over that. But I don't think it's a bad thing that he can feel comfortable letting somebody else call plays. And who knows? Like, it could be like, it could definitely be a positive thing. Definitely, I feel. So we'll have to see. But yeah, anything else in particular? Because I don't think these stats are loading. I don't even have to load them properly for. Let's see, highlights. Is this a lot? Okay, if you guys want to see the last play, I could probably play. It's like 45 seconds. Let me see if you guys missed it. I'll just have to have it muted. So let's break this in. If you guys want to watch this, this is the crazy ending play. This is the end. All right. If you guys missed it, this is wild. Fumble. Picked up. Another fumble. Back to the quarterback. He was so close. He actually was. Now this guy is close. He almost made it. And then it was a flag, and then the game was over. It was wild. It was very funny. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. I mean, I think it was pretty much a preseason game, so it's gonna end in a tie. So I guess the Niners are like 1-1-1. 1 loss, 1 win, 1 tie. And that's how the preseason is going to end. Now we have about 2 weeks before the regular season. Hopefully this Brandon Ayuk stuff and I've heard rumors about Trent Williams. Not sure what's going to happen. I think if we hear anything on Trent, we won't hear until probably Monday over the weekend. But Kyle is going to be there tomorrow, so we might. I don't know. I see a very slim possibility that we hear tomorrow, but who knows? And then, but I think if we hear anything on Trent, it'll probably be hopefully on Monday. And then, Brandon Ayuk was there with the team. They traveled. He traveled with the team to Vegas for the game. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it, guys. That's all I really have. It's just kind of a crazy end to the preseason. I thought it was a fun thing to do. Any other comments, questions, or concerns? I do feel like I should probably play quick ad reads since we didn't play earlier in our earlier show. So any last minute comments, get those ready. Right now I'm going to play an ad read and then I'll answer any final comments.
Today's episode is sponsored by Power Brand Systems. Need help getting new customers for your business? Let Power Brand Systems help you grow with their powerful tools. Visit powerbrandsystems.com/Niner Faithful Radio for more info. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on X. If you like our content and would like to support the show, consider leaving us a tip in our tip jar at ninerfaithfulradio.us/tip jar. Join our exclusive membership community where you get exclusive NFR content not available anywhere else. Join our exclusive chat, 20% off of all non-sale For the Faithful by the Faithful gear, and much more. Visit portal.ninerfaithfulradio.us/login to join.
Alrighty. Thank you. Thank you guys for popping in for me for this late live stream. We had a late game tonight, so I didn't know how many people were going to be here. It is very late, so appreciate you guys being here this late, especially if you're on the East Coast. I feel you guys, especially getting worried because I forgot that they got rid of the overtime rule, so I thought we were going to have to go even longer. So I appreciate you guys. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We'll be back next week. We got cut down week up to the 53. Hopefully we'll have some updates on Ayuk, on Trent, any of these injuries, maybe something on Ricky Pearsall, see what's going on with his shoulder that we were talking about. And yeah, we'll keep you guys updated. I believe we're pretty much regularly scheduled for our normal regularly scheduled Tuesday. Jason and T will be on for their normal Tuesday show. I will probably join Friday, depending if my work schedule for Friday be on. And if anything big drops, maybe we'll do an impromptu show if I get Ayuk news or whatever is going to happen. So yeah. Thanks for keeping up with me tonight, guys. Have a great rest of your evening. And as always, go Niners.